Hey, Chris Liepe here with the Recording Revolution, and in this video, I want to talk about a few things that you can do to mentally prepare to get the best vocal performances out of either you or the person you're working with before you go into a recording session. And these are things that you can think about during the recording session as well. We spend tons of time working on the gear side of things and the studio side and, what plugins we're going to use. And we might even spend a lot of time practicing the song in order to get the best results, or at least we think it's going to help us get the best results in the studio. But we don't spend, I don't think, a lot of time on the mental side of and the taxing nature of recording vocals. We don't spend a lot of time on that until we get into the studio and we go, okay, I'm just not laying down what I thought I was going to be laying down because I've gotten inside my own head. My voice isn't working the way I want it to work. So we're going to dive into a discussion about that. And I'd love to get you guys involved in the comments too. What are some things that you really struggle with going into a recording session? If you want more help with the more technical sides of things, dialing in your vocal chain, setting up your rig, click the link below and download my free PDF, Perfect Vocal Chain, and get started with that stuff. And then come back to this video and let's talk about getting in the right mindset to create a great vocal performance.
What's the worst that I can say? Things are better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night. And if you carry on this way, things are better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night.
Here's the first thing that most people overlook when they go in to record vocals. Partially, it is overlooked because people don't want to burn themselves out before they're ready to record. You must make sure that you are warmed up, but not too warmed up. You need to get to the point where you know your voice well enough to where you've reached that point to where you're physically able to go, oh, yes, I can do what I want to do with my voice. And then recognize that there's a window that you're going to be able to do exactly what you want to do with your voice. So I've done lots of videos on how to warm up properly. And in my course, I talk about how to warm up properly in this very way. But here's what usually happens when it comes to warming up. We under-warm up before we start actually trying to really give it our all for the vocal recording. And then we're frustrated because we're not quite warmed up. And then we end up pushing ourselves sort of out of frustration. And then we push ourselves right past that sweet spot. In other words, we've required too much of our voice too soon in the studio. And then out of distraction and frustration, we don't take advantage of when our voice is in the best shape and we push past it. This creates just an endless thing of frustration. We're always working against ourselves physically and so mentally. So make sure that you have a good, comfortable, introspective warm-up routine so that you can get the most out of your voice. Warm up properly. And before mindset shift number 2, I want to talk briefly about something I've talked about on the channel before. You must make sure that you can hear yourself okay, that you're comfortable with your signal chain, that what you are singing, what's coming out of your face, is represented in your ears in a good way so that you're not distracted by that. I cover this in Perfect Vocal Chain in the PDF you can download, and I've covered this in various aspects on this channel, helping you dial that in so that that isn't getting in the way of your vocal performance. You don't want your chain, you don't want your gear to get in the way, you want it to help. So, with that in mind, assuming you can hear yourself okay, and assuming you can lean into your signal chain okay, here's the next mindset shift. Do not go into your vocal recording with the idea that you want to be good You don't want to try to reach a certain bar. You don't want to be, I hope my pitch is okay. I hope my diction is okay. I hope what I'm delivering is good. Don't go in with that mindset. Make this subtle mindset tweak. Go in wanting to express, wanting to share and emote. Remember, your vocal performance that you're capturing, people aren't going to judge how good you are. They're going to relate to how well they connected with you as the lead vocalist. It's really difficult to do this when we're in the studio because we don't have that feedback that we have as a live vocalist. We're not connecting with anybody. We're connecting with gear. We might be connecting with one other person in the studio. We might be connecting with ourselves. That's where we really need to work on this. Emote, express. We have all sorts of tools to make things good. If we don't worry about being good while we're recording, instead we worry about emotionally connecting with what we're doing and being expressive out of that, all sorts of things are going to jump out of our voice. We're going to take risks that we wouldn't take if we were trying to be good because we're just expressing. Remember, you can punch in and out as many times as you want to and experiment with different ways to connect different lines. So it's not about being good or perfect. It's about being patient and expressive so that you can craft the perfect vocal take. Don't try to be good, try to be expressive. All right, here's the third mindset tweak that you need to adopt so that you can get great vocal performances recorded. Keep the big picture, the big vocal picture, especially, in mind. That performance that I did at the very beginning is layered. Yeah, it's all about the lead vocal, but there are doubles, there are harmonies, there are arranging things that serve that lead vocal, that bring out nuances and complement that performance. So if we're tracking and we're really trying to nail this lead vocal, but we don't have in mind like, oh yeah, I think a harmony would be good there, or I'll probably double this section. If we're not at least thinking in that arranging mindset when we're delivering our vocal performance, we're going to put too much pressure on the sound of our lead vocal. And we're going to listen back and be like, that I felt like it was performed well, and I felt like I was emotive, and it was on pitch, and it was good, it was in time, but maybe I need to go adjust the EQ or try taking it over and over again. Rather than really being stuck to just working on your lead vocal, be open to trying a section of a song, getting a portion of that lead vocal down, and then experiment with adding arranging possibilities, doubles, harmonies, stuff like that, and then see how that lead vocal pops out. So we're thinking as an arranger, not just as a performer, the whole time. This helps us really free possibilities that we wouldn't have even noticed if we were just harping on, okay, let's get the lead vocal down. Let's get it down. If we're not doing that, if we're more open to the bigger picture the whole time, we're going to have way more success. I hope you found this helpful. I wish you well on your vocal recordings. See you for more.